Welcome to Kicks and Minivans, the podcast for dads who love sneakers. This is 8-Minute Mondays. This is 8-Minute Mondays, where we seek to get your week off to a great start. We want to inform, encourage, and inspire you all in 8 minutes or less as you start your week and your journey of being the best husband and dad as you can be. We want to help you win, and we're here to do just that. A lot of what you're going to hear is clips from older episodes. If it's one of those, you'll always be able to find the link to the full episode in the show notes, whether you're watching on YouTube or listening on your favorite podcast app. Make sure you tune in every Monday for a new 8-Minute Mondays and every other Wednesday for a new full-length episode. We're here to help you win in marriage and parenting. Take care of yourself, take care of your families. This is 8-Minute Mondays. This episode is brought to you by our sponsor, Nate Solutions. To schedule a free consultation for a leadership coaching session to help you unleash the best from within, go visit n8leader.com today.
Yeah, so the 6 domains of health are your physical health, which, we've already touched a little bit on, and the mental health, which it's so good that now as a society that we are kind of reducing that stigma and we're talking about mental health, which is so important, especially in this post-COVID climate that we're all in. I think it's really brought to the forefront the need for us to talk about it. But the other 4 are our emotional health, which is really just feeling and managing all of our range of emotions. And it's understanding what our emotions are telling us. So kind of looking at our emotions as a dashboard that are telling us, the car dashboard, that a light comes on and that light tells us something about what's happening with our car. Like, I need to put oil in or something like that, or the engine's overheating. Those are all important things for us to know. And our emotional health is really important for us to understand our emotions and what they're telling us. So that's the 3rd one. The 4th one is our spiritual health. And that has to do with our relationship with God, our relationship with ourselves, and then our relationships with the community that really helps us to reinforce who we are, our identity. And then the 5th one is our relational health, which is all about having good relationships, having healthy boundaries put up so that we maintain healthy relationships, that we address conflict in a healthy way, we have a fulfilling social life, and that our relational needs are actually being met, because each of us have relational needs that need to be met. And then that last one is our vocational health. And with our vocational health, it's all about understanding what our unique calling is and understanding how what we do for work, and that could be like a job, that could be something else that we do for work, but it's understanding how that links to your calling. And it's all about finding fulfillment in your work, and that you are in a work environment that fits you. Everybody has different work environments that fits them. There's kind of really no one size fits all. There's some things that are toxic probably for everybody, but some people they want to work from home, and that's what really seems to fit them. Other people are like, I could never work from home because I feel so isolated from everybody. Those are generally the extroverts. But those are the 6 domains of health: physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, relational, and vocational.
That's so good. And you can see right away how some of those are connected, right? But how deeply connected are they, right? So say you're doing well in 4 of those areas, but in 2 you're really suffering. How much would the bleeding in 2 impact the other 4 if the other 4 are going well? Or is it possible for the other 4 to be going well if you're really struggling in 2 of them per se?
Yeah. Yeah, it is all interconnected. It definitely is all interconnected. And so, if you are suffering or you're maybe deficient in 2 areas of your health, but the other 4 are looking good, well, the other 4 are going to be impacted over time. And so let me just kind of give you an example just from myself to kind of paint this picture really well. So I've got I got something wrong with my left knee, and I don't know what it is. I've tried to get it looked at. Doctors haven't really been able to diagnose what it is, but I've got kind of pain in my left knee at all times. And what I've noticed that over the last, year or two that I've been experiencing this is that it's impacted how I walk. And so probably most people don't notice it, but obviously I notice it because it's how I walk. And
Sure.
what I've noticed is that recently I've started to get some pain in my right foot because I'm walking different because of the pain in my left
Mm,
knee. And so it's one of those things where it's like, I really got to get to the bottom of what's going on with my knee because that's causing the pain in my right foot.
because it's
So it will
overcompensating.
bleed.
Mm,
Exactly. And
mm.
so that's what happens with our holistic health is that it is eventually going to bleed into the other areas. So if you're working like in a job that you hate, so your vocational health is obviously not going to be good in that type of situation, and it's going to bleed into your other areas. You're going to start to have this like mental thought life where you are talking to yourself all the time about, very negatively about your work, about maybe your performance, about the people that you work with. And so that thought life is going to lead to emotional tank. You're going to start feeling anxious, especially when you get that Sunday scaries. It's like Sunday evening and you're like, oh man, I got to go back to work tomorrow. You start to feel that really bubble up in you. And then that impacts your relationships because you're going to
Mm.
start treating people at work terrible. You're going to come home just so exhausted and burnt out. And you're going to treat your family and your kids. You're going to yell at them. And then guess what? When you try to go to bed at night, you're going to sleep terrible because you're just going to be ruminating about all of the things that happened that day that you hated. And you're going to be thinking about how you're going to have to get up and do it the next day. So it really does bleed into all parts of our health, and so it's important for us to understand how they're all interconnected, but also understand that we need to kind of like when we're not well and we need to focus on getting well, that we've got to look at it from all the angles, not just assume that the only thing I need to do is get a new job because you're going to have to look at how that has bled into the other areas of your health so that you can improve your whole self, not just your vocational health.